at the end of the show, Garth and the Pope swap hats.
The morning show's over, but they're still talking.
That's funny, right?
Yes, it's very fun.
It's Liz and Scotty's Poddy.
Hello, Elizabeth.
Good morning, Scotty.
Time for another Liz and Scotty's Poddy, and today we're going to focus in on the ACM Awards, the Academy of Country Music Awards. One of the two major country music award shows. There's the CMAs and the ACMs, or the alphabet soup of award shows, as many people around here refer to it. And one of the reasons we want to do this is because this week we got the wonderful news that today's best country, Clear 99, KCLR FM, Columbia, Missouri, has been nominated in the Small Market Radio Station of the Year category for the upcoming ACM Awards. And Liz and Scotty in the Morning have been nominated in the Small Market Personality of the Year award competition. So that was some pretty good news.
Yeah, thank you. And you guys are what makes nominations possible, so we could not have done it without you.
So we thought, let's do this. Let's kind of dig into the ACMs a little bit. We will kind of explain to you how this happens because we do submit entries for things like this. So we'll kind of talk about the entries about it a little bit. And the other thing is that Liz and I are both fortunate enough to be voting members of the Academy. And it is the time of year to vote for the upcoming ACM Awards. And we thought, you know what? Let's just run through a ballot real quick and we'll tell them who we're voting for and just kind of show them how that works.
I love the in-depth stuff in the behind the scenes, so I hope this is as interesting to you as it is to us. We're very blessed that we get to vote, and I always find it really, really fun. So I'm excited that we kind of get to share that process with you.
Yeah, and first of all, we'll share the process of actually the radio station getting nominated. And how that works is basically we submit an entry in the small market categories. There's two separate entries. They're very similar, but they're two separate entries, one in the radio station category and then one in the personality category as well. Now, there is sort of a written part.
Yes, it's very black and white, direct. We just write typically what we've done, like you said, the events that we go to, the organizations that we help, and other, fun listener opportunities that we've had. Yeah,
so that's the part where we put in, how much money you helped us raise for the Radiothon or for what you do with adopting pets with the Central Missouri Humane Society and the events that you come to and that sort of thing. The CMAs gets a little bit more in depth because I think with it's like PDFs and we do pictures and a bunch of other stuff. The ACMs is pretty much just write us 500 words and that's good. Mm-hmm. And they're also interested in things like ratings information. Like they want to know where does Clear 99 rank among other country stations in this market, which is number one. And also just how they rank among all radio stations, which is number one as well this go around. It's not always that way, but it was this last time. So we give them that information. And then we put together a 5-minute air check. And again, a couple of separate ones for the station and for the morning show. But basically, it's just some highlights from the last year. We try to think, okay, honestly, what's going to make us look the best? Mm-hmm. I mean, that's what this is for. So we go back and try to find some things where we had a lot of fun with you, the listeners, the ones where you guys get involved. That's another place where when you guys call the radio station, those things sound better, we think, on these entries than just me and Liz talking about something. Mm-hmm. So when we can have you guys playing a game with us or we can share one of the highlights from one of the radiothons we've done, that sort of thing. So we thought, you know what, we'll just play you this year's entry. This is actually the entry for Liz and Scotty in the Morning for the personality entry for the ACMs. It's about 5 minutes long or so.
The morning show choice of bus number 74 in Hallsville.
Yeah! We love you!
We love you! And the average freshman ACT score of Mizzou students is 26.2. You remember your ACT score, Elizabeth?
Well, I think it was like a 31 or a 32.
Oh, 31?
I test pretty well.
I don't know. I was working with a genius.
Oh, stop. You remember your ACT score?
It wasn't a 32. I'm not even sure it was in the 20s, to be honest with you.
Never.
Somehow we got into this great discussion about grilled cheese sandwiches.
I'm a teacher at Smithton Middle School, and we do a grilled cheese challenge.
Okay,
Yum.
Before we go any further, do you need judges for this challenge?
Well, I was going to ask you, next fall when we do it, would you like to be judges for me?
Please. We would love that.
Awesome. I will give you a call in the fall.
Elizabeth, it's time for you to go be on maternity leave.
I know. I can't believe the time has finally come.
We appreciate you sharing this part of the journey with us, and now it's time for you to go do your thing with your family. And when you're ready to bring us into it, you do that, but not a minute before, okay?
Sounds great.
Liam John Del Grosso was born healthy and happy last week.
Truly the best experience I have ever been a part of was watching Evelyn meet her little baby brother. It made me sob from the beginning to the end. She was so happy. So happy. So it was, obviously you still get emotional talking about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, she was amazed the second she saw him, and then she just instantly wanted to hold him. She is just the greatest and cutest little big sister ever, and I could not be more proud of her.
So the short version of this, Garth Brooks is playing at the Vatican this weekend. The first thought that popped into our heads was, what song does he have to leave out of his set? Do you do Friends in Low Places? How can you be Garth Brooks and not do Friends in Low Places?
Lots of suggestions for throwing Papa Loved Mama out of the mix.
That would be a tough one.
Yes.
Yeah. Here's the joke I came up with.
Okay.
I would have to craft it a little bit, but the punchline would be something about, at the end of the show, Garth and the Pope swap hats. That's funny, right?
Yes, it's very funny.
It's not offensive, is it?
I'm not Catholic, so I don't know. But
I hope it's not. If it offends you, I apologize. We love it when giving away concert tickets turns into a family affair.
Oh my gosh, Colton!
What's your name?
My name's Kristen, and I'm taking my kids to the school. And Colton is my son, and he loves listening to you guys.
Wow, that's very nice.
You want to say hi, Colton? Hi!
Hi, Colton.
Got a big day at school today, Colton?
Yeah!
Well, have a good one, okay?
Yay!
And enjoy the Brett Young concert with your mom.
Yay! Thank you so much, you guys. Have a great weekend.
Liz had one of those real mom moments this week.
Yup. I was living my life, having a great morning yesterday, and then I get a text message from my husband, Will, saying, today was dress-up day. We were supposed to put Evelyn in a Halloween costume, and I completely forgot. And sure enough, everybody was dressed to the nines, except for my child. And I was dreading going to pick her up because what are the other parents going to think of me? What are the teachers thinking of me? I had one job, and I didn't do it.
What's even better, what did Will dress her in?
Yeah, to make it even better, I pick Evelyn up, and she's wearing an AC/DC shirt.
Hey, we were just calling in about spunky grandparents. My grandmother, her name was Arzella, and she was probably 93 or 94 at this point in time, and she thought our daughter was the light of the world, and she decided that she was going to take our daughter to her very first concert. So our 4-year-old daughter and my 94-year-old grandmother went to a Mo Bandy concert at a bar at the lake, and it still is one of my favorite memories. And I have this picture of my sweet little 4-year-old in her tutu with her 94-year-old grandmother. I am good. How are you?
Doing good. Would you like to play some junk drawer bingo?
I would love to play.
Let's start with screws. You got any screws in there?
I keep those in my little toolbox thing. I do not have screws in my junk drawer.
What about an old cell phone? You got an old cell phone in there?
I do have an old cell phone. Yes, I just upgraded my phone about 2.5 weeks ago.
Well, that's great. Thank you so much for playing. We hope you enjoyed Chris Jansen. He'll be at the MU Healthcare Capital Region Amphitheater in Jeff City on May 26th, and so will you.
Oh, that's awesome. Thank you so much.
So that's it, basically. And the station one is a little bit different. It's not all Liz and Scotty. We've got some Josh stuff on there, and we've got some Eric stuff on there. But basically, we put all of that together. We send it to them, and then we found out we got nominated. And by the way, very excited, our sister station, our friends Hilly and Hart at Cat Country in Jefferson City got nominated again this year, which that makes 2 years in a row for them. So that's always kind of a great shout out for our company. We've got 2 morning shows that are nominated like that. So that's pretty cool. And then we will find out. The award show is like May 8th or something like that. And for the radio stations, they generally will let us know a couple of weeks ahead of time to know whether or not we won, because we probably will not go to the show unless we won. And I think that's one of the reasons they do it, especially with small market radio stations. They know they don't have just huge travel budgets laying around, to send a bunch of people to an awards show. So that way, if you've won, then you get to go and take advantage of it. So we will find out about that in a few weeks, we're guessing.
Mm-hmm. And funny enough, too, this is a little bit more behind the scenes, but if you win, you get better seats at the show. So Scotty and I always like to see if we're going to win and if we get to sit up front.
You get tickets just for getting nominated.
Yeah, which is amazing.
Yeah, but the tickets for when you win are much better seats.
And we all know that Scotty is not a fan of traveling that much, so we aren't going unless we're winning.
Exactly, not unless we're up front. Showing off a little bit. Now, the other part of this is that it is voting time for the ACMs, and we are actually in the second round of voting right now. The first round was a few weeks ago, and it's almost like we've been talking about with Inside Columbia Magazine. It's like, okay, nominations are open. What do you think? Like, you go to the Entertainer of the Year, and there's no nominees there. It's just, who do you think? You just fill in the blanks. And so they have compiled all of those numbers. Now we are in round number 2 of the ACM voting. And we thought, you know what? We'll just go through it. Liz and I both get a vote. And so we'll just kind of go through it today. And up first is Entertainer of the Year category. And there are a bunch of people that are nominated. I guess we'll run through them at least once. Kelsey Ballerini, Lee Brice, Kane Brown, Luke Bryan, Kenny Chesney, Luke Combs, Jelly Roll, Cody Johnson, Old Dominion, Thomas Rhett, Chris Stapleton, George Strait, Carrie Underwood, Morgan Wallen, and Lainey Wilson. In
this second round of voting, there's a lot, and then we ultimately narrow it down to that third round.
Yeah, the third round, it'll be what you're used to seeing on the internet, where there'll be 5 people nominated in each category. So, Entertainer of the Year, Liz, who you voting for? Who you nominating, I guess, or we're voting.
Okay, this is always so hard, because especially for the Entertainer of the Year category, because you could probably make an argument for anybody and everybody, but I think I'm going to vote for Lainey Wilson.
Okay.
How about you?
That's legit. I'm voting for Morgan Wallen.
Okay.
He's getting my vote for Entertainer of the Year. I think there will be 5 nominees there, and I think it would be easy to make an argument for all 5 of them.
And it looks like we can select 2.
Oh, we can. Well, okay, then I'm going Lainey Wilson.
Okay. I think I will also take Jelly Roll.
Okay. Can't help but think that all 3 of them will be in the final group of nominees. All right, Liz, up next, Male Artist of the Year, and pretty much anybody you can think of's in here, so just tell me what you think.
You know what? I'm scrolling. I know he probably won't win, but he's had such a fantastic year. Jordan Davis, just with constant number 1 success, so I'm voting him.
That's a good vote. A lot of times when I look at this one, if I am struggling on who to vote for Entertainer of the Year, because you think Morgan Wallen could get it or Luke Combs could get it, if I'm going back and forth, if I vote for one in one, I'll vote for the other one in the other one. And I think that's what I'm going to do here, because Luke Combs had another great year as well. So,
and we can vote for 2 again in this category.
Oh, okay.
So I'm also going Jelly Roll.
La, la, la. I am too. Jelly Roll has just been huge this year. So, all right, back to categories, and then we will look at the Female Artist of the Year. Who are you thinking there?
Oh, man, I already know. Kelsey Ballerini has my first vote.
Okay.
She's just had an incredible year. And I'm also going to do Megan Maroney.
Very good. I'm going to do Lainey Wilson for my first vote, and then I would probably look at... You know what? I'm going to vote for Ella Langley.
Oh, is she on there?
Yeah, she kind of broke through this year, so it'd be kind of cool to see her in the Female Vocalist of the Year category. Other options, Hannah Ellis, Miranda's on there, Ashley McBride, Reba, Casey Musgraves, Carly Pierce, Carrie Underwood's on there as well, so...
I'm changing my Megan Maroney vote, and I think I'm going with you, and I'm voting Ella.
Okay, very good. So we will move on to Duo of the Year, a much shorter category.
Yeah.
Well, I guess maybe not. Brooks and Dunn, Brothers Osborne, Dan and Shay, Low Cash, Maddie and Tay, Muscadine Bloodline, Neon Union, Tiger Lily Gold, and the Warren Treaty. So what you thinking?
Okay, so we can do 2 again. I'm always going to go Dan and Shay.
Okay.
And then I think I'm going to do the Warren Treaty, too. They just have beautiful voices.
They do, and they've made some headway this year.
They have.
They've really gotten a little bit more attention. Kind of a husband-wife that sings beautiful music. So, all right, I'm going to probably do Dan and Shay, and you know what? I'm going Warren Treaty too.
Nice.
Because I downloaded their album and listened to it quite a bit. I liked it. And as I said, they're finally starting to make a little headway, getting a little traction in the industry. So good for them. All right, Group of the Year is up next. Group of the Year's in here, and there's a bunch of people I've never heard of.
Yes. But scroll down a little bit, and who do you see? None other than Rascal Flatts.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, you know what? They've had a pretty decent, year. Scotty's looking at me. At least a decent couple of months.
Yeah. I think this is mostly for 2024, but you know what? If you want to vote for Rascal Flatts, you vote for Rascal Flatts. I'm not going to argue with you.
Bless their hearts. Old Dominion just gets it every single year for like the past 7 or 8 years, so I'm voting them as well.
Yeah, it's Old Dominion and then a bunch of people fighting for second place.
Yeah, exactly.
In this one. So I'll go Old Dominion, and, this is one of those, I don't know that any of these were doing that much in 2024 or, that were top of mind.
Right. So that's why you should probably just choose Rascal Flatts.
Rascal Flatts. You know what? I'll go Zach Brown Band. I don't think it really matters what the second choice is because Old Dominion's going to win it. Yeah. So, then we get to New Male Artist of the Year. These are always pretty exciting. Gavin Adcock, Drew Baldridge, Sam Barber, Chase Beckham, George Burge, Tyler Braden, Dylan Carmichael, Jackson Dean, Wyatt Flores, Dylan Gossett, Kelsey Hart, Corey Kent, Dylan Marlowe, Cameron Marlowe, Shabuzi, Zach Top, Tucker Wetmore, and Bailey Zimmerman.
Okay. My decision's fairly easy. I'm going Shabuzi and I'm going Bailey Zimmerman.
All right. I'm going Shabuzi, and I think I'll go Zach Top. He's not my favorite, but he had a really, really big year.
He did.
Got a lot of attention. Nobody, new artist-wise, had a bigger year than Shabuzi, so he's first.
I was going to say, and honestly, I could probably see Zach Top winning that category.
Yeah, me too. There's a couple of Bailey Zimmerman, too, could sneak in there. All right, top new female artist of the year.
Oh, our girl Cassie Ashton's in there.
Cassie Ashton, Annie Bosco, Ashley Cook, Dasha, Hannah Ellis, Ella Langley, and Jessie Murph.
All right, so I'm definitely going Ella Langley.
Yep.
You know what? I'll give a vote to Cassie.
That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do Ella and Cassie. And that's not just hometown pride. I mean,
she's working hard.
Yeah, she made some progress career-wise. You were starting to see her name pop up in a lot of different things.
She released, I believe, her first album.
Yeah.
Not an EP. Okay, so, and then new duo group.
New duo or group. You got 3 choices, and you get to pick 2, so who you leaving out?
It's so funny because when we did the first round of voting, they gave you options. It wasn't open-ended.
Right.
And I remember having to look up every single one of them.
I haven't heard of any of the 3 of these bands.
And, I think I'm going to do Restless Road and Treaty Oak just because I've seen their names more in the, playlist that I see new music in.
Okay, and the Red Clay Strays are the other option. You know what I think I did the first time? I think I left this one blank just because I didn't.
Oh,
I didn't know any of them, and I thought, let me wait until it gets down. I'll do a little research.
I didn't even know you could leave it blank.
Yeah,
good to know.
I think I did. I'll do that sometimes with the best guitarist. I don't know who's the best guitarist. I'll leave that to the people who know what they're talking about. You know what I mean? And then album of the year, which there's a bunch of these.
I'm definitely going Post Malone's F1 Trillion. I mean, I absolutely loved it, but it made so many headlines and waves in country music.
All right.
And then I'm going Patterns from Kelsey Ballerini. That was an absolutely fantastic album.
Okay, I'm going to do the F1 Trillion because, like you, I liked it, number 1, and number 2, yes, it moved the needle. And Lainey Wilson's Whirlwind.
Yeah, I would have chosen that as my third.
Is the other one that I'll go. There are a bunch of those in this category, too, though. So, you got another one?
Yeah, there's a few more. Single of the year.
Oh, I didn't scroll down far enough. My bad. Single of the year. Now, single of the year is the one that is presented to the artist and their record label. Song of the year goes to songwriter, and it's more about the song. Single of the year, more about maybe the song's performance and that sort of thing. At least the way I look at it. Everybody looks at it different, but what do you think in single of the year?
So I'm definitely going A Bar Song from Shabuzi.
Yeah.
And then I had some help, Post Malone and Morgan Wallen.
Okay. I'm going to do Shabuzi and A Bar Song, and I'm going to do You Look Like You Love Me.
Yeah.
For single of the year.
I would have definitely chosen that as my third.
Okay. So then now we have got They're not even doing Song of the Year. Visual Media of the Year. This is probably what used to be like the Video of the Year. Mm-hmm. And this may be another one. I'll just tell you up front that I'll leave blank because I don't know that I have seen any of these videos.
Cody Johnson's Dirt Cheap was absolutely beautiful, and I know a lot of people loved that. So I'm going to choose that one. And then I'm also going to choose, this one's hard because I'm going to Love You from Cody Johnson and Carrie Underwood's on there, and that one's really, really good. And You Look Like You Love Me is also on there. I'm going to go You Look Like You Love Me on that one.
Okay. I did see You Look Like You Love Me, so I can vote for it again.
There you go.
Okay. I'll vote for one.
All right. And then final one.
Ooh, Music Event of the Year. And this is the one where it's people performing together who don't normally perform together. So like Dan and Shay would not be in musical event, but if somebody like Post Malone and Morgan Wallen, I'm sure, are in here somewhere.
Yeah, so Cowboys Cry 2 from Kelsey Ballerini and Noah Kahn. So good, and
That's
I'm definitely
your
choosing
vote.
them.
Yeah. And You Look Like You Love Me. Ella Langley
Something
and Riley
About
Green.
a Woman, Thomas Rhett and Teddy Swims is in there. Oh, man.
Vote for it.
Oh, man.
Your ballot. Do what you want.
I know, but You Look Like You Love Me, too. Shoot. I have to do You Look Like You Love Me. That's what probably is the hardest part about this is you obviously put into effect your likes and your dislikes when voting, but you also have to think of the bigger picture and like what it did for country music.
Its impact.
Its impact, exactly.
Yeah, I'm with you. All right, I'm going to go ahead and do I Had Some Help, too. So I had some help, and You Look Like You Love Me. So there you go. There's 12 categories. And they have a bunch of other categories, too. They do have, like, Instrumentalist of the Year and Venue of the Year. And I those are not on this particular ballot, but they do awards. I said do. They do awards like those. They're kind of like the radio stations that, outside of the people in those towns, nobody really cares about them. And that goes for the radio or the venue. So that's how it works. Now I will say in a few weeks, they'll come up and they'll narrow it down and there'll be like either 3 to 5 per category for these. And we'll just kind of run through and vote for it again. So I don't know. Maybe that was boring. We just thought that's kind of the way the process is. And we'd at least show you how we go through it anyway. The ACM Awards are coming up on May 8th, and we'll continue to talk about those and promote those. And when we find out anything about the awards that Clear 99 is nominated for, that will make a difference on whether or not we're going. And that might turn into some promotions and stuff, too. So I would just say stay tuned for more details about the ACM stuff. And thank you for listening, searching out, and taking the time to find Liz and Scotty's Poddy.
Yeah, we're available wherever you get your podcasts. So just search for Clear 99 on demand, whether it be on Spotify, Google, Apple, you name it. We're also on the free Clear 99 app, or you can just go old school and get it on our website, clear99.com.
Liz helping a brother out this morning. I am one who has long been confused by this discussion about the cloud.
It's funny because we just got a text message from Cindy, too. She said, I'm right there with you, Scotty. My phone keeps saying my cloud is full. It's been full for a couple of years. I have no idea what my cloud is, where it's at, or what's even in it.
And then Liz kind of explains to me that she thinks the cloud is an Apple thing. That Google calls it the Drive. Example number 714 of why Apple is just so far ahead of everybody else in the world when it comes to marketing and branding. The cloud. The cloud. That sounds nice, right? The Drive sounds like, the thing in a sci-fi movie that's going to take over the world and ruin all of our life. The Drive, it's like a machine that is going to, the Drive, but not Apple. Apple's the cloud.